All right, welcome everybody. We're back to the Freedom Coin Show podcast. Today we'll be interviewing Drew and Casey from Acousha Collectibles.
Fri Sat.
Let's see. So, who wants to start off first today on this interview process?
All right.
Drew?
Drew's starting, I guess, man.
Go for it. Introduce yourself.
All right, I'm Drew with Acousha Collectibles. Basically, what I like to do is I like to buy coins, and I hate doing the rest. And I like making videos. So, me and Casey make a great pair in what we do. But kind of when we first started out, and where everything kind of started was when, I was in college and, I was junior year, and that's kind of the time where you get your class ring and, you're supposed to, get all those weird pictures about kids holding their rings and stuff. But my parents gave me some money and said, hey, you want your ring or you want to spend it on something else? And I was like, man, I never really had any attachment. I didn't really like, I was good at college, but I didn't like it. And so what happened was, we went to my grandmother's house and she had some coins. I looked through them. I only like the Americana stuff, the U.S. stuff, but I picked out all the U.S. coins. Didn't even know how to price them, but I gave her some money for it. And that's kind of where everything started. And as soon as the pandemic hit, I sold my first ever coin. And when I sold it on Instagram. I was at my brother's apartment in Oklahoma. He wasn't having a fun time just because of how everything was going on, and they were shutting things down. But it was a really cool time for me and my sister. But that's kind of where we started. We started selling coins on Instagram, and then a little bit later on, Casey kind of joined in and wanted to be his own boss, like I was being my own boss, and with his kind of expertise, it's been a real pleasure because you can't do stuff like this on your own. You got to have people in your life that help you, lift you up, and whenever they need lift up, you can do the same exact thing. But where was your kind of genesis story? Where were you when you kind of came into Acousha Collectibles, Casey?
Well, like Drew, I went to college. I was quote-unquote formally educated, which once you get into the real world, you'll realize that formal education is I don't know. Many people have their opinions on it, but I'm the finance guy of the partnership and the S Corp. I deal with the money. I deal with the accounting. I do the driving. I'm the bodyguard. I think where I saw my need and want to be in Acousha Collectibles, it kind of happened where I had left my previous job and I didn't like the environment that I was working in, and I wanted to find something in an organization that cared for me and my beliefs and where I was going, and wanted to benefit them and myself in the process. So Drew and I decided to hit it off together and take on the coin world full force.
Nice. Yeah, I'm with you on the education thing. I have 2 degrees. One's in automotive technology and the other's in business. I like both of them, and having a formal education is good in some aspects and useless in others. And so right now I'm an owner of a coin shop. So business one came into play. I love the automotive one. That's kind of my side thing I do. But so I've been doing this since the pandemic, so that's about 2 years now.
Yeah, just the 2-year anniversary, I think, because of it started in March of 2020.
Oh,
yeah,
there you go. Happy 2-year anniversary. Many more to come.
Heck yeah.
So how long do you see y'all doing this for?
Well, I really see this as a long-term thing. I really like just the atmosphere of coin shows and the coin community. I think there's a lot of people with a lot of integrity. They're down to earth. Many of them are Christians, which is something that we don't pick up on enough. And so, I don't know. I think that it's been very rewarding in terms of being in a community where you feel like you're like-minded and have the same goals, providing for your family, doing what you like. Coin shows wake me up better than anything else. And so for me, I like to do it as long as possible and possibly make, a few other companies in the future. We branched out into media, I think 10 months ago, to kind of scale Acousha Collectibles, try to make it different from other people, provide content, give people individual experience about coin shows, even if they couldn't come to them. So definitely would like to move into media as possible and possibly another venture, but definitely want to stay in coins as long as I can. You want to answer that, Casey? Is there anything that really you want to move into and also continue on? What do you want to do?
Well, one thing that I'd say about Drew and I is that we have an insatiable appetite, and I wouldn't say that we set our mind to conquer, but we look to master different things. And with coins, what we've quickly realized is that you can't master knowing enough about coins, grading enough coins, understanding where they came from. There's so many intricacies to coins in the hobby that people have spent their whole lives in coins and they haven't mastered it. I think that intricacy and that depth is appreciated by us, and it wakes us up in the morning. I see beyond coins, like Drew mentioned, media. I think that we have a group of people like you guys that we have partnered with. We're creating a team that will provide a service and will make an impact that we can't even imagine currently. And we'll go about doing our thing, and it might not always be only coins, but it will be a facet of our life and our business.
I also see the industry has a long life left of it. I don't see it dying out or disappearing anytime in our lifetimes. It was interesting getting to see this from a young age, where when I started, it was mostly all older people, and being in the business, growing up in it, working it, you see all the older people, they die off, and the industry didn't die. New, younger entrepreneurs came in and stepped in where the old timers stepped out. And I see a huge transition. I actually see bigger amount transition of younger entrepreneurs coming in and taking over those old timer spots, which is a really good sign to me that the interest is there, and there's a lot of people out there who are ready to start businesses and pick up where others left off. So I see the industry has a long life left of it.
I mean, a thought that I have kind of on the coin industry and currency in general is, and this is, I guess, a look I have on life, is at the end of the day, what is the impact that you're having on somebody else, right? So we look at all these coins, for example, and Morgan dollars produced in starting in 1878, right? And they have lived longer than us, and they will outlive us. But what they cannot do is have a lasting impact, or a lasting impact on humanity that we can, a positive impact. I think that looking at something that is so old, it reminds me that my life and my experience is going to be so finite what am I going to do during that time that will have an impact beyond my years?
Yeah,
Which kind of reverts back to Christianity for us.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting about where we came into the picture with coins is that it's kind of like a turning point for almost a little bit for the coin space. COVID was happening or just starting. People were moving more into online. Even old timers, a lot of people that used to go to shows in 2020, or some of them have passed. Some of them just things happened, and they weren't treated right, I'm sure, by the hospital. But we'll talk about that at a different time. But during that kind of turning, it feels like a turning point where it's like everybody really needed to be at a coin show to see a lot of good things. And I think that I didn't know it at the time, but now I understand. It's like we were at a time where we were able to make an opportunity, able to make our mark on the coin space, or start to make our mark by creating videos, but also creating posts and being able to learn in the space and then tell people what we've learned. I think that in the beginning I didn't know that, but now I really understand that. Everyone has their time. We have to come in. We came in at a good time, and very, very fortunate to just be a part of this community. It's just a very humbling experience, and it's very thankful.
Yeah, timing's key. A lot of things in life. Good timing. So I've been in this industry for my whole life, and one thing that I have picked up on and like to practice is, it's good to make money. It's good to be successful, but in the end game, the end of things, I see that building relationships and friendships is a million times more valuable than the old blue paper money. So on that note, how many new friends do you think y'all have made since you started in this industry?
So when I first started, with college and everything else, it was kind of strange. I was kind of an introvert at college, and basically I didn't have any. I don't think I had any friends that I could even put on one hand other than my family. And so, and mainly the reason why is because, we're Christians, and there's just a lot of things that were going on at the time where it felt like it was easier for young people to go drink or go have sex and go do what they want to do. And for me, I was just like, I need to protect myself in a way where it was like, I need to get to a place where I find people that agree with me on things and want to help me, and I want to help them. And iron sharpens iron in a way. And so for college, I just didn't have any friends. But as soon as the coin thing started, I developed a mentor, and then I started making deals with people, and those deals end up becoming relationships. And then I go to coin shows, and it's a very different atmosphere now, because it's like we go to a coin show now, a guy that doesn't even know us, just comes up to us and wants to meet us, and or we have a coin dealer that says, hey, we're rooting for you, buddy. Can we found these coins and we haven't really offered them to anybody else, and we just like having them on our show and stuff. But it's just I didn't have any friends, but I think God was keeping me protected in a way of not falling into some of the traps that the world has, and finding the people that really really kept us encouraged and wanting to chase our passion of business and in coins. And so I didn't have many friends, but Casey, you can answer this question. Where were you before you kind of got involved?
Well, I would say that with Drew and I, we don't make friends very easy. I guess we have very high standards when it comes to friends and their commitment level to us as our commitment level to them. We're very giving people, and if we don't see that reciprocated back, it somewhat puts a bad taste in our mouth, and I think that's something that's very refreshing about Blake and Christy and Sonny and the whole Royal Coins group is they're very giving, and it doesn't necessarily have to be monetary. That's what a lot of people's mind goes to, monetary giving, but it's of time, of effort, of emotion, if you will. So we didn't have a lot of friends, like Drew mentioned, but I think that through our 1.5 2 years of coin dealing, we have, I don't know, 20 plus friends. And I think that the difference between the friends that we have now and what we were looking to have as teenagers and young adults is you go and you talk with a lot of these individuals that have lived their life. They're at the end of their life, right? And they have the full spectrum of life, right? And they're not into the drama. They're not into all the garbage that happens somewhat in the younger years. And they can appreciate the deep thoughts and the deep conversations that we're willing to have and we're interested in having. So I think that it's been easier for us to make friends with older people because we relate with them from a maturity perspective. And I would say that the coin community as a whole is very giving. There are some people out there that are not very giving, which kind of sour the taste for people looking in, but I would say that there's a lot of giving people within the coin space.
Yeah, friendship is the biggest thing in this whole industry, in my eyes, that I see on a daily basis. There are some really nice people, and there are some really mean, nasty people out there. So when I was younger, in high school and middle school, high school, college, the friends that I had was very small and close knit group. Now, some of them were really did stupid stuff, got in trouble. I think all of us got in trouble. Some of us learned from it, some of us didn't, and that kind of led me into the right path and getting away from the negativity, the bad influences, and moving to finding positive people, good role models, people with information and knowledge in life, and that's what I like. I like meeting people. I like picking their brain. I like getting knowledge from them, seeing where they've been in life, experiences they've had. So definitely, friendship in this industry is key. So, on another note of y'all growing your business, any plans on possibly opening a coin shop in the future?
My kind of goal was to have one, in a way would be to have it be available for one maybe by the end of this year, but it just depends on what we're obligated to and what we have. But from a kind of cost perspective, which is what we've always kind of had an approach for was, like I have an iPhone 7. Like Blake knows, we just bought a $1,600 car that's worth, roughly $3,000. So, for me, I want a coin shop, yes, but I think that there has to be a certain time and opportunity for it. And so that's kind of, are the funds going to line up at that time, and is it going to be the right place? And that's something that we have to really think about and before making a decision on. And so I definitely want to start a coin shop, and I think it'd be a great opportunity, especially in the place that we live. There's a lot of wealthy people there that think about their future and what they want to do with it, especially when they they work in the medical district and they own their own businesses, and that's like some of the clients that we really enjoy working with. They understand what we're going through and what we're trying to achieve, and so finding people like that is a pretty cool thing too. But Casey can answer this one too. What do you what's kind of where are we at now, and then what do you think about owning a shop?
Well, I think that we're in a good place where we're at currently, dealing mostly online and going to coin shows and dealing in that manner. So we go about sourcing at coin shows and then sell online, or meet with dealers and then sell online. I think we're at a really good place. I think we still have time to grow. I don't think that we've reached our full potential when it comes to online sales and that presence. I'd like to grow that a little bit more. As far as a store, I think, in my opinion, it would have to be strictly dependent on necessity only. Just because, I think we have to reach a point where we cannot grow any further online, and that would be another tool in our tool belt, an extra outlet for people to come and see us.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. So you can only grow so big in certain areas, and then you have to expand. So if y'all did get this shop, would it be in y'all's area, north Houston, north of Houston, or more towards downtown, or a specific area that y'all see as a good area in Houston that would be beneficial for a coin shop to pop up in?
I don't know. I thought King where we live. I don't want to say where we live, but I don't know. I think that there's with Houston, there's kind of that there's a little risk in terms of security, but thankfully we're allowed to carry and do stuff like that. But for me, it's been I'd like it to be near where we live, and I think there's if Houston was to expand like it is now for the next 10 years, I think that moving up north, moving east more, moving west more, that's going to happen. And it's probably good to be where you want to be now, and I don't know, I kind of enjoy where we live. So that's kind of what my opinion is. I don't know if Casey where Casey would want to do it. We don't really talk about it too much. We know it's something we want to do, but so if you hear different opinions, then that's a good thing, because that's what you're literally listening to, what we're going to be talking about, just not on the mic, if that makes sense.
Well, I think where we're at and where we live is a very good area. I think that it's a very nice area, secure area. Customer base, I think, is there. I think when it comes to, I'm not saying that we're not willing to drive, but I think from a time management perspective, almost driving to a store should be one of the least amount of time consuming parts of our day. So, if it could be within 15 minutes of our house, that would be great. And from an inventory perspective, if we wanted to store stuff at our physical shop and or at our house, we're able to do that as well and make a trip back and forth. I think closeness is a good idea, and I think where we're thinking about having the coin shop is a good place.
Yeah, I think that to add on to that, it's like, would we want to be in a 3,000 square foot place in Houston and have a lot of clients? Yeah, that's a good thing, but I don't know. I think there's certain stepping stones where it's like, you only have to drive 10 minutes and you can get your inventory from home. You don't want to move a 4,000 pound safe down the middle of Houston, So some of that is like you're mitigating cost, and then you're allowing yourself to build up capital, and then say that you're like, okay, we can handle the clients downtown in Houston, then we should move downtown to Houston. So it's kind of like it's kind of like a building, kind of a building for us.
Well, I'd say downtown Houston's relatively saturated as well with other coin shops.
Well, if I were to say the coin shops that I would fully endorse, it would be Royal Coins, and then it would be U.S. Coin and Jewelry. Other than that, I don't really know. I don't really go to others, and I think that there still is an opportunity, especially with the millions of people down there. But yeah, it's just building it right. You don't want to. Sometimes it's just not good to sign your life away to something that you don't fully grasp yet. So that's kind of me. I just like taking it a little slow sometimes, if that makes sense.
Yeah, the area that y'all are in right now, I think, is a good area. I used to live pretty close by there for about 20 years. I know it fairly well, and I think it'd be a real good spot, especially starting out, and having it permanently there. I think it's a good spot. Let's see, what's y'all's? Let's do a quick one here. Your favorite coin?
Man, favorite coin. So it's kind of an interesting answer. I like toned coins. I have one that's end of roll toned, which basically means it sat at the end of a bankroll, and it was the paper was folded over it, and then over time toning kind of happened to it, and it really made a interesting design on the coin. I'm also starting to get into seated coins. I like seated coins a lot. And just sometimes there's a coin that jumps out at you, like I say, with toning, it's very unique, and you can make the argument there's none like it. So that's kind of where I like to pick up coins, and sometimes it has a premium. And I'm also, maybe this year or next year I want to start moving into like gold, rare gold kind of thing. I do like CAC approved coins, so not a really specific answer, but basically my palette of what I like and what I want to collect is growing by the day, and that's a scary but a beneficial thing, especially when you're going to do it in business. And I guess there's a saying that I made up. I said that I'm still trying to make this possible, but it's like every time I put a coin in a package, I want it to hurt a little bit. And basically what that means is that if the world kind of burned down tomorrow and I had all these coins with me, would I be okay with keeping them, and do I really like them myself? And so if you find coins that you love that you end up working with to sell, I think that is a good thing. But I'll let you answer that, Casey. Is there something that you like?
I have a bend towards toning like Drew does. I think that it's fascinating, and every coin is unique. People have their different opinions on toning, but I am sold on it, and I will continue to collect tone coins. I also like older holders, and I am starting to favor some of the more expensive gold. I think as a person that enjoys a little bit of challenge, I like finding coins that have low mintage, and it would be a great icebreaker or a talking piece or something cool to talk about.
Yeah, what about you, Blake? Is there something that, I know that you we were talking about a little bit on our Instagrams a little bit ago, but if you want to refresh everybody on this podcast, what is something that you kind of got on the ground floor of, and you really like picking up, and now that you bought half of them, you might as well retire now, But tell us about that.
Well, some of the coins that I like tone coins as well. They're unique. They're all different. I like error coins. I like rare error coins, not just the plain old Jane.
Not the Etsy error coins, right?
Yeah, it's the super rare error coins. I think those are pretty cool. And on the other side, the bullion side, I really like the old poured Engelhard bars, the silver bars. I have a few of them, a few stacked away.
So and the Engelhard's really, I don't know anything about bullion. Thank God, because I can ask you about it and learn about it. And it'll be a lot quicker than me figuring it out on my own. But weren't Engelhards and all that kind of almost the beginning of all these pouring companies now that like to do their own special art bars and all this stuff? Was that kind of the beginning of poured art bars kind of thing? Or it's kind of interesting how it almost like exploded in design of what people like to do with them now.
Yeah, there's been a lot of companies that have been pouring silver bars for a while. Engelhard is like the top tier, most well-known name of a silver bar, I would say, out there. They've been around a long time. Their design is real simple. I like the design because it's just real simple, to the point, looks good. I like the way the bars look. When I first started in this industry and as buying silver for my personal collection, it was Engelhard bars. And maybe that's just why I'm, went that way with them. When I first started buying, I didn't know I really didn't know or expect what silver was going to do. I thought it was just something cool, put my money in. I would just stack them away, and all of a sudden it went from $6 an ounce up to $48 an ounce. And all I had was Engelhards, and sold most of them when it was over $40 an ounce. So when it fell back down to 13, I started buying them all again. So I think it's just something that it's one of those things you start in and you just have a passion for it.
Yeah, I think that's pretty interesting. And so, don't make fun of me, don't judge me, but I just made the correlation of Royal Hard Fitness to Engelhard. They almost kind of have the matching design.
I knew that for a while now.
Yeah, I just missed that whole thing. But
yeah, so what we did was had a custom silver bar poured for us, and just kind of changed the wording a little bit. Instead of Engelhard, we made it Royal Hard to play off of our business name, play off of my favorite silver bar. And it was a pretty big hit. Everyone liked it. So when my wife wanted to start a fitness company, I was like, well, let's how about Royal Hard Fitness? We have a logo with it. We got the silver bar. We could use it, go 2 and 2 together. We could advertise your fitness company and at our shop, and then when you're training people, you can advertise our storefront.
I think that's pretty cool. This was something I want to talk about with Christy, but
we might have her on here in a second.
In a second?
Yeah, she might have 2 questions for you.
Oh, sweet, dude. She's gonna ask us some questions.
Yeah. I have a question for the table. So, there's been talk of autonomous driving and computers taking over where humans are at, right? And for many, we view technology as good and bad at the same time. So in situations where it benefits our life, it is good. In situations where it doesn't benefit our life, as bad, right? So what point do you think technology within the coin space will turn bad?
It already has, actually. Already has. A lot of fake coins coming from China, perfectly made with technology. Technology is what made it possible.
Even the paper and everything. Right?
Paper currency has been faked. A lot of nice, expensive, rare collector coins are counterfeited out of China. Some of them are raw. Some of them are put into PCGS holders, NGC holders. The holders look exactly like the real deal. So technology, I would say that's how technology is been kind of destructive.
Well, I'd also say, to add to that, I guess I didn't answer my own question, but with each step in technology, for example, the television, right? You have television commercials, you have people on TV using their media presence and their influence to sell coins and sell a promise or a hope or luck or what have you. Moving forward, we've now moved into the internet age where you have people doing the same thing but at a more rapid pace. And I think that, for some portions of society, technology has hurt them because there's a lot of nefarious people out there using technology to scam people.
Yeah, I mean, I think that technology overall has been a good thing, but there's some people out there that it's just like what we talk about. It's like someone makes a shop and they steal from people and then they move on to their next gig. It's the same thing with online, but I think that if everyone and people that really wanted to make their mark and do things, I think that if they started to do it with technology as what they did in real life, same business practices and try to be good people and just shifted to online a little bit to balance it all out. I think there's a lot of negativity online, but I do think that if you walk into it yourself with the right intentions, I think that there's definitely an opportunity to change the environment that you're in, even if it's a few hundred followers or a few hundred subscribers. It's just something that you really can't change, the negativity. All you really can change is the way you think about things and the way that you, the way that you see the world and what you want other people to see, We gonna have her calling? We can just cut this part and then just throw her in.
Yeah, we can give her a call right now.
We are now welcoming on Christy.
Please introduce yourself to the show, please. Casey just loves looking at this table when he wants to speak. Yeah, he just
Well, hello. You're on the air live with us.
Awesome.
So everyone,
Thanks for having me.
this is my lovely wife, Christy, on the air with us, and we're gonna get her to ask Drew and Casey 2 questions that she has for them. They could be business related or coin related or life related. Give it a shot.
Okay, and I might have missed this conversation maybe in your YouTube or in something on your Instagram. What started y'all's interest in coin collecting?
So basically what really started my interest, Casey really didn't come into the fold until later, but really sparked my interest was, I picked up my grandmother's coin collection. She needed some money for some bills, and I thought it was a good time to, buy a piece of our small legacy as Haddocks. And instead of buying kind of a class ring, I ended up buying her coin collection and a few other coins. And so that was just something where it started. The name that we had and where it came from is, I was in college and I think I was starting to sell coins a little bit, do something like that. But there was somebody, my professor, he said, hey, I don't want you to write an essay. I don't want you to do anything special, but for extra credit this semester, I want you to go to the dog shelter down the way and volunteer. They need your help. So me and my mom went, and there was a dog there named Acousha. So, I thought it was a cool name. I really, the dog was pretty cool too. And so I ended up looking up the name later, and there wasn't any definition for it. No one has ever called anybody Acousha. It hasn't came from any type of history. And so the way I've kind of thought about it now is like it's almost like the genesis of us, this chapter, our story as professionals. And so Acousha is kind of where I put my feet in the ground, and that's kind of how we started, and it's been going pretty good so far. But do you have anything to add to that, Casey? I answered it perfectly, you said, I guess. What would be your second question, Christy?
That's awesome. Okay, so what would be death row, on your deathbed, pick one, what would be the last meal you would ask for?
Chicken Parmesan from Christy would be...
Like, seriously, like if you had one last meal before you left this earth, what would it be?
Man, that's tough. Casey, you want to go first? I'm going to blow yours out of the water, but it's fine. Go for it.
I wouldn't have anything for my last meal.
Dang, dude. That's sad. That's Edgar Allan Poe stuff right there.
Right? That's really deep, actually.
Well, for mine was a little bit deep, too. I was like, if I had it's kind of not even the meal, really. It's just like if my last meal was with my family.
Yeah, just the environment. I think if I had a last meal too, it would come down to if my grandma DeShower was still alive, my dad's mother's mother, if she was still alive, her pasta. I mean, it just brings back so many. It's more of the memory that it brings back, I think, is what I was trying to get at. Is if you had to sit down and that one last thing you had to eat, what would that be? Like just bringing back that feeling of sitting around the table with everyone that you love and your family members. I love that. I totally get it.
Yeah. Well, is there another? Do you have any other questions off the top of your head? I know we have stuff that's kind of structured, but sometimes coming off the cuff is pretty interesting too. Is there any other questions you wanted to ask us?
Besides living in the great state of Texas, if you had to pick another state to live in, especially when it comes to coin dealing, do you find that you have an audience that's outside of Texas that's really more concentrated somewhere else, or that you would enjoy that environment more?
I think through examining a lot of where our customers live and where we ship out a lot of our inventory, I would say a lot of our customer base is from the Northeast, where Drew and I were born, up in the Ohio, Pennsylvania area. So if we were to move, it would probably be in that area, though we don't agree with the state of those areas from a political perspective or from a financial perspective or where they're going in mandates. There is a lot of history. The states are older, and a lot of our customers are from there.
Yeah, and to answer a question in a different light, I think that you kind of led a little bit to it, but it was like we do sell to a lot of people in California. We do sell to people in Florida. We do sell to a lot of people in the North. So everything's kind of is going to be a little bit spread. But if I had to choose a state, I mean, Texas is good. My top two behind that would be Ohio, is where we were kind of born. Our family's really never, the core family's really never left Ohio. That would be more of like a family thing, but by the time we actually get there, I don't think it would be, the people that we really grew up with wouldn't really be, it'd be tougher for sure. But the other state would be Florida. Yeah, I think Florida would be great. There's a lot of freedom there, and there's a lot of people that like coins there, and so, maybe we'll just have a house in 3 states. Why not?
Yeah, definitely. And that blue water, because of the ocean too, on one side would be much more welcoming than the Gulf of Mexico for sure. I've got some real quick fire questions since y'all two are brothers. Do you mind if I just ask them real quick?
Go for it.
Okay, who prefers to drive the longer distances when y'all travel?
If I have to drive, we're not going. Casey drives. It's crazy. He drives. It's what he does.
Out of the thousands of miles we've driven this year, Drew has probably put 50 on the odometer. 50.
Yeah. So that's a good question for sure.
Awesome. Okay, so when it comes down to actually making a deal, who's going to be the one that solidifies it? Like, who's the one that someone's going to look at and be like, you know what, you do it. You're better at negotiating, or you're better at closing the deal. Which one would y'all pick out of the two?
So this is not rapid fire anymore because Drew's making it not rapid fire. But this is how it goes in the short term. I go up to the table. I look for stuff that people would maybe like for our shop. I do the deal, and then I get up. I don't even pay them yet. Smack my hand down. And I go, all right, Case, come on over. He whips out the wad. He writes the check, and I go on to the next table. So it's kind of strange how I find myself and Casey finds himself, but
so we both make the deals.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, I say yes or no to the coins, and then he's like, I'd prefer not to drive. I'd prefer not even to have a wallet. I mean, I'm weird.
He hasn't carried a wallet for a week and a half now.
Yeah, so yeah, that's kind of like Casey to solidify the deal. I'm just like, all right, Richie, it's been fun, man. He's like, well, where are you going? I'm like, well, Casey's buying here. This big tall Sasquatch next to me, he's going to be writing the check, and so that's kind of how we work. And then that also allows us to go to the next table, and they see us as a team in a united front. Casey doesn't really buy many coins, and when he does buy them, he asks me about them, and then it ends up being a pretty good deal. But it allows us to look like a team. Allows us to have our own.
Definitely cover more ground, I guess is the way to put it too, because some of these shows are huge. If there's not two of y'all really just like tag teaming, it's hard to really cover some good ground.
Yeah, it's pretty tough sometimes, but the best thing to do with a show is just not, I don't pay for a table. I don't really sell at shows, but we show up. We showed up to the Bossier City show, an hour and a half early?
Yeah.
And so I get to bother Richie. I look in the show, hey, Richie, good to see you, bud.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh God, you're here, you know. So he let us in like, he said, I'll let you in 15 minutes early. I'm there 35 minutes early. Hey, Richie, good to see you, man. I bother him again. He's like, all right, get your
Right.
butt in here. I got to set up. So,
Right.
showing up early, sometimes you can talk to the first few dealers there. And then, when stuff finally comes in, you've already made your rounds. So that's pretty cool. But
Back to the deal question. I think that Drew has mastered has gotten a very good understanding of a lot of the coins that he goes to buy. I think that there's a lot of room left for us to educate ourselves on stuff that we're not very familiar with now. So maybe in the future, it may be both of us hunting and paying for the coins and then meeting up at the end and moving on from there. Or it might be us conquering two different shows, depending on if there's a show in two different locations. So
Yeah, and I completely understand that. We do that at our shop. That kind of leads me to my next kind of quick question: who buys more from the heart, and who buys more for the business?
wow, that's a perfect question, dude. I mean, when Casey came into
I
the
buy from the heart.
yeah, he just took it. But when Casey first came in, I had one coin in my collection. And so, that was
And
a coin
I'm
that
the only reason he has more than one coin.
right. And so that was kind of I had one coin, and that's the coin that got me interested in like collecting tone coins and rare coins, and actually got like so.
That coin has traveled 5,000 miles with him.
Yeah, so I started buying and selling during the start of pandemic, and like 3 days in, I saw this coin that sold. And the guy like reposted it or something, and he sold it like 2 years before before I even saw it for myself. And I'm like, man, I need to own this coin. And so I ended up like really wanting to buy and sell so I can find this coin, and I ended up getting it, and that was my only coin. And then Casey came into the fold, and I'm like, we got to put the business first and this and that. But over time, I realized like we have to keep some things back because
There's
that's
always more fiat cash out there.
yeah, well, yeah, you can always get more cash, but at the same time, there's things that will grow exponentially, and you don't have to go and sell them and buy more and sell them and buy more. You can hold some stuff back, and that's what I learned from Casey. But we made a rule to ourselves that if we're going to sell something, we have to agree to sell it. If we have to keep something, we have to agree to keep it. Both of us do. And so he's more of the keeper, I'm more of the seller, and so sometimes I shut him down and sometimes he shuts me down, and we kind of like we do have to hold some stuff back, but he's definitely the heart guy for sure.
Right. So who's ready to leave first from a show or from a business deal? Because I have a feeling, obviously, between Blake and I'm usually the one that's like, okay, can we go now? Like, we've been here like for 8 hours. Are we done yet? Like, can we go? And I know he could probably spend like 12 hours there, but out of y'all two, which one's ready to like get out?
Casey's
of the
got.
show?
You want to talk about it, Casey?
It really depends on a show-by-show basis. Sometimes different shows treat us different ways. Sometimes Drew's a little bit more tired that day, or I'm a little bit more tired, or I'm in a very interesting conversation or interview with somebody, or Drew's in a nice coin deal. It really depends sometimes, but I don't know. Do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think Casey does all the interviews with people at the shows that we include on our YouTube channel, and then he does a lot of the, he pays for the coins most times. And so sometimes it's a show where it's a really good buying show, and I'm there for like from the start almost to the end of the show, and we haven't eaten anything and we haven't drank anything, and I could keep going for another 8 hours if it was allowed. And sometimes I go to a show and it's like complete dog crap. Casey's like, we just got here, man. I'm like, it's dog crap. And so it just depends on the show. Like Casey was saying, the show we have this weekend is going to be pretty good. We spent like every cent we had last time there, so we spent like 12, 13,000. We never actually spent that much money at a show before, and so that's why we're gonna go to that one. And Casey's gonna be like, "Can we go eat?" It's like 3:30,
Right. Well, that actually leads me to my last question that I have for you guys, and this includes Blake too. If y'all had to actually pick out of all the shows y'all been to over all the years, whether you continue to go every single year or not, or you only went once, what has been your favorite coin show to attend?
Wow. I don't know if I actually have a favorite. I think my favorite. It's not even gonna answer your question, but I tried. But my favorite.
Do you want me to answer it?
No.
Mine's gonna be
No.
lighter than yours.
My favorite would be.
Everyone's gonna have their own favorite. My favorite one, only because for sentimental reasons, is gonna be the shirt show. That was the first show I ever attended as someone that was never involved in the coin community or gold or bullion or anything like that, and it's kind of like sentimental to me too because it was the first show that I attended with now my husband. So everyone's gonna have a different answer.
Yeah, that's a good answer. I mean, I think the first really show that we visited was Conroe, and that one was definitely one of the coolest shows. We didn't really understand it at the time when we first went, but it's probably one of my favorite spots to be. But ideally, I want to be at a coin show every single weekend, and I'd go to we've been in some dark alley coin shows, man. But
Right.
I'd really like to be at any one that I could find, go to be honest, if it's worth our time. But what's your answer, Casey?
Conroe.
Just stole your answer, dude. Just stole the answer, man.
Because it was the first. We didn't have any money, and we bought barely anything, but that's where the start happened. And I can remember like it was yesterday. Drew walked into the coin show with the very little money that we had, and he was overwhelmed and nervous and didn't know anything. And
I think we had like $1,700.
it was like $1,200. And he didn't ask anyone anything. He barely wanted to look at anything. Just infant coin collector.
Well, you get to like a show like that, and it's your first ever show, and it's like
It's overwhelming.
you feel like you feel like you're holding a ball of sand, and all the sand's falling out of your fingertips, and you've never actually it's strange.
I'd compare it to walking into a gun shop and you wanting to ask about a gun, but then it's like,
Where do I even start?
oh, remember the gun training and the gun safety that I've ingrained into my mind. Don't point the barrel at somebody. Don't look at it too long, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
What
kind of
about
the
you,
best.
Blake?
Yeah. What about you, Blake? Yeah.
Oh, my favorite show, I would say, would be the shirt show as well.
That's where I took my beautiful wife.
Yep, that's where my beautiful wife went to the first show with
I just
me.
remember it so vividly because we were only dating for like a month, I think, at the time, barely a month at the time. And I just committed. And of course, the lady that ran that show or was the head of that coin club at the time. And she came right over and she was like, oh, who's this? She's so beautiful. Is this your wife? And Blake turned around, looked right at me and was like, not yet. And that was only a month into us dating. Like, I remember it so vividly. And I was like, deep down, like, wow, okay, we've only been dating for a month. But at the same time, I was like, yay!
I know this
it just has held a spot in my heart ever since then.
I know this is a bit personal, but how long did you guys date before you got married?
4 years, 4.5-ish.
It's not bad.
They took a slow
proposed
ride, but they
4
made
years
their right timing. That's what's important.
You can't rush perfection.
Christy's flicking her hair right now as we speak, right? That's pretty
really
awesome.
Yeah, the shirt show is a good show. So number one, why I like it is because it was the first show Christy came to with me, and after the show, you remember what you said? It was something like it blew your mind.
It did.
What all was going on there? You were not expecting.
No,
the turnout.
I went into that weekend thinking, I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be like some hotel lobby, just a bunch of nerds. But I was blown away. Not only the amount of dealers, but the amount of knowledge and the amount of knowledge everyone had and the amount of knowledge from the customers and how just the love of the history and how involved they were. And just, I was shocked. This was a whole nother world for me. I thought I didn't even know what I was walking into, but I was like, oh my God, like this is a thing. Like this, do people know about this? This is crazy. This is amazing. I was blown away and I was hooked ever since then.
Do you have a moment for a question of mine, Christy?
Yeah, definitely.
So we introduced Royal Coins in our previous episode that we recorded just a few moments ago. And we mentioned you.
Oh.
I forget. And we mentioned that you are a part of the Royal Coins team, and you are a valuable asset to Royal Coins. But it's our understanding that you also do fitness. I just wanted you to, could you briefly explain your experience with fitness and where you plan on going and where people can find you? Because I think that's an important and beautiful development that's happening.
Oh, well, yeah, definitely. Wouldn't be able to do it, obviously, without the success from Royal Coins. So very much humbled that, one business can turn into supporting a dream that I've always had. I have always loved the human body and the way it works. It's a miraculous thing that we are just having a conversation and we're not even thinking about the fact that we're breathing. And our lungs are doing that on their own subconsciously. We don't have to think about it. We don't have to initiate it, nothing. And that really is what sparked me in high school to want to go this path towards mainly nutrition. When I got into college, I worked. I helped paid for my education. My parents were very strong believers in you're going to work for what you have. There's no free rides. And so we worked. In college, I found that I really loved working out. It started in high school from all the sports I did. I carried it into college, but I really saw a passion that I wanted to turn this into something. So I got a certified personal training through NASM at the time, which is the National Academy of Sports Medicine. It was one of the most highly recognized ones in the country, and my parents were 100% behind it. They were like, go do it. We see your love. We see your passion. And it's been something I've continued to do since 2008, and that seems so far ago behind us. But up until, beginning of this year, and Blake's been a big support to say, go do this, go achieve that goal, go chase it, go do whatever you need to do to put that passion into a vision. And I've gotten an opportunity to do monthly challenges that have just gotten people to start moving, just to be active, just to take care of their own cardiovascular health and protect their heart and just overall health in general. And I've now turned this into a trial period for 6 weeks to help people really get healthy and learn a healthy relationship with food and just start learning that you can eat what you want and still be healthy and to be active. And it doesn't have to be a chore. Your health shouldn't have to be a chore. And that's where I'm at. And I've got a website, royalhardfitness.com, where you can sign up for monthly challenges and you can get some nutrition advice. You can contact me personally and I can just help you feel good in your own body. Because at the end of the day, that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for ripped abs. I just want you to feel good in the skin you're walking around in, because the human body is amazing. And I like to educate people on how your body works, because when you know how something works, you're more willing to work with it. So it's been an amazing ride. Overwhelming, but amazing so far.
Yeah, I have a question as well.
Yeah.
Well, I have to commend you guys, because we almost feel like we're learning from you guys so much. And so that's kind of what got us into, one, stopping soda, not drinking soda. And then also really, I think we go to the gym 5 to 7 days a week now. We weren't like a month and a half ago, but we do now. So how would, from your perspective, I think I've asked Blake this, but from your perspective, how do you think Royal Coins has changed just based on the addition of you, but also the addition of your expertise? Because I know, and I believe it myself, I mean, our sales and what we've been able to do based on just exercising has really opened us up to a lot of opportunities. How do you think that you yourself and your expertise has changed not only your life, but also Royal Coins and your husband's life?
That's a loaded question.
Listening.
I mean, me personally in my husband's life, and obviously if Blake is thriving and succeeding and feeling good about himself, then Royal Coins will thrive and succeed even more. And it just comes down to fueling him properly. And I he's lucked out to marry an Italian who loves to cook on top of it. So I'm always trying to feed him foods that are going to fuel him. Not so much, he still enjoys the foods that he eats, and that's the goal too. Is we love to eat. So making foods that we love to eat and feel like we can be guilty about, but it's not, and fueling us properly. And then when it comes to the working out as well too, studies have shown even 35 to 45-minute walks a day can improve focus, boost your mood, boost creativity, all these kind of positive things. So I think also just a female in that shop, because it was just a bunch of guys, I think has just brought a little bit more lightness to the atmosphere at Royal Coins. And also just, you can work 24/7. You can pour your whole life into a business, but if you're not taking care of yourself, if you're not enjoying the skin you're walking around in, if you're not waking up and actually enjoying who you are and what you do every day, it doesn't matter how much time you pour into a business, because that business will kill you. So you have to take care of yourself. And I think that's kind of the aspect I've brought to the office. I mean, you can ask the guys there. I'm constantly harassing our employees how much water they drink. If I go pick up food and they say, hey, I'll take a large Coke, they're not getting a Coke for me. They're getting a large water, because I want them to feel good. I want them to feel focused. I want them to feel refreshed. I want them to have the energy to get through busy days, especially with everything that's going on with Spot right now. And, the buzz in the bullion world and in the coin collecting world. So if I've brought anything to the business, I think it's just more focus and energy, and just, I think, more lightness, instead of it just always be serious. I think I've contributed in that way of just maybe bringing a little bit more fun to the business as well too, with my reels and with the fitness side of them feeling good about themselves. Because when you feel good about yourself, you're more willing to work harder and push harder and be more creative and just do more.
Yeah, it's a great way to put it. And when you were talking, I heard Blake's stomach growl.
Yeah, so that leads me to my question. What are we having for dinner?
It's like a baked chicken. I didn't have enough oil to fry, so I did it in the oven, and I baked chicken with some Italian seasoned rice and some mixed vegetables. So
all she needs is a Gordon Ramsay accent, and she's set.
I'm a little disappointed. This chicken's a little dry, and I'm okay saying that on live air for y'all to use later. But you can't make them all perfect, but you can make them all tasty.
We'll be the judge of that.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I have a question for you, Christy.
Yeah.
What kind of impact do you want to leave on humanity?
That was a soft question right there. Yeah.
Yes, and it's actually something I thought about with my current venture in the fitness world. I would love to leave an impact of not everything has to be absolute. You don't have to work out to have ripped abs. You don't have to work out to be the strongest man in the world. You can work out just purely because you enjoy it and because it makes you feel good about yourself. And I want to make an impact on the world that you can have a healthy relationship with food, and you can still eat your Cheetos, and you can still have a Dr. Pepper if you want to. And then at the same time, too, I want to bring fun back to the bullion and coin community. And that's the only reason why I started the reels is I don't want it to be so serious. I don't want it to be just black and white and everyone at each other's throat, or this is the price and this is it. I want to bring back that fun again. I want to bring back that sexy again to the bullion community, because it is. Gold and silver is fun, and it's playful, and you can pour it and mold it into something custom, or you can use it as an advertising piece, or you can use it to invest. And if I can leave any kind of impact on the world, it's those three things, if I can.
I think
sounds fantastic.
I think we need more women in the coin space, to be honest.
I think there's women out there. I just don't think we've gotten enough credibility to make an impact yet. It's coming. I'm not saying that we're being like shoved down or anything like that. I just think our time is coming. There's women out there. And I think also just the way that we play with the coin and bullion world is different how men see it.
Yeah.
We're there. It's just going to take more time.
It's true. And a story that I was thinking of, which I don't know it exactly, but I think you've already heard it. You're a lady that likes to watch Instagram Reels, but there's a guy that basically said the story that two men started in the day at the same time. They were cutting down trees, and then during lunch, they both took an hour lunch, and then one didn't come back. He came back another hour after that. And then whenever everything was said and done, one guy had more logs cut than the other guy, and the guy that actually took that extra hour break, he didn't take a 1 hour lunch. He almost took like a 2 hour lunch. He actually cut more logs than the guy that was there for the 7 hours of work. And then so at the end of the shift, he's like, "Well, how did you do it, man? You were gone for an extra hour than me." And he said, "Because I went home to sharpen my axe." And I think that has a good impact on Royal Coins, because there's someone there to say, let's go sharpen our axe. Let's go make sure that our mind and our body is where it needs to be, but also we need to take some breaks. We need to pump the brakes on this, what's going on here. We need to have some life to the party. And without that, we're going to get bogged down in just the medial, just the business type of environment. And so that's the story that kind of came to my mind when trying to describe you and what you do for Royal Coins. And so do we have any other questions, or you guys want to... We tapped?
No, I think this is great. If y'all want to, have me on a different show, I can definitely think of more, fun, quick fire questions for you guys. And then actually just as a group for all three of y'all, because I didn't mean to just focus on you guys, because I feel like Blake knows everything. So
yeah, well, we talked about
I want to know more about you guys, and I feel like people want to know a little bit more about y'all because everyone knows Blake. So
yeah, Blake's the guy,
He is. He's amazing. He's helping people start their own businesses, grow their businesses, actually open storefronts and everything. And he's amazing.
A part of his impact.
I appreciate it. I try.
Well, I think I guess we'll end on this. We were asking about what impact you want to make on the world, and I think about that a lot. And if I had to put it in a few sentences, it would be, if whoever I meet and whatever their passion is, I want to help them do it. I want to help them succeed at it. And that's the same thing that
if it's ethical and legal.
Yeah, if it's ethical and legal, right? And that's automatically what we should think of anyway. But
definitely leave people better than how you met them.
Right. That's kind of how like Blake thinks too, which is kind of interesting, because that's kind of the impact you want to make on the world. I've been thinking about college and people's lives and futures and stuff, and it's like, if you're not doing what you love, then you're doing the wrong thing, because the real importance of life is understanding the time that we have. And so, at the end of the day, I just want to make sure that everybody that I know, I'm helping them achieve their passion and their dreams, because getting them up in the morning isn't going to be me. Getting them up in the morning is going to be something that they love to do every day of the week. And so, I think that's just what I want to do. But I think we're gonna wrap this up, right?
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here, and just want to say thank you for joining the show today and having some good questions. And I want to say thank you for all your help at the shop, all your help at home, all your help with my health and fitness.
Thick, man, laying it on thick.
And thank you for being the best wife in the world.
Aww.
If men don't do this, then they are screwed up. Right here. Okay. But thanks, Christy, for having us, you coming on.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, and we'll see you in a couple minutes for dinner.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, talk to you soon.
Bye.
All right, and we're going to wrap it up today. Hope everybody got some good information on all of us, and we'll see you on the next show.
Yeah, we'll see you the next time. If you guys want to like this podcast, comment your thoughts, any questions down below for us, and subscribe. After this video, we'll be talking about how to help people get started in coins, talk to coin dealers, talk to some famous people Blake knows, because he knows a lot of good people. But we hope you guys stay tuned, and we will see you guys in the next one.